I've always wondered what's the difference between taking pictures and being a photographer. I'm going to talk to a strong woman of color next here on Breaking Into.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Lives. Breaking Into.
Such a good song. God, they knew how to harmonize and everything.
But the words.
Yeah. This is when they wrote songs that have meaning.
Yes, they don't do this anymore.
Now we have Anaconda by Nicki Minaj, which I do kind of like the song though. Hi, welcome to Breaking Into. I am James Lott Jr., your host, and I'm glad to be back. And I have a great guest. Of course, these are Little Crosby, Stills, and Nash. For those of you who don't know who they are, go on the internet and find them. Find out who they are. They're really good. They have some great stuff out there. I have a great guest. I try to bring you really interesting people on this show, and this person I feel is very interesting. We'll get to know her even closely and her work. She's a photographer who lives here in Southern California, which is a great city to take pictures of. And we're going to show some of her pictures of her community series that are, I like them. We're going to talk about each of the pictures and what I think and stuff like that. But she's also about confronting social, constructs and, challenging the system a little bit, which we all need to do now. Yes, we need to do it now. All of us obviously do that. She also has co-founded the Black Dove Film Club, a collective of and for women of color. I want to talk about that too, photographers. So let's get started with homegirl here, Cinthya Guillen.
Hi, James.
See, an applause. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. You can follow us, of course, on social media at Breaking Into is a page on Facebook. So we are there. Go ahead and like and subscribe. We are on iTunes and we're on YouTube under Black Hollywood Live. And then you look for Breaking Into and you'll see my logo that's behind me and all that. And all the other stuff there. So, okay, first thing I want to ask you, because I'm just really curious, what in your opinion is the difference between a person who just takes pictures and a person who is a photographer?
Well, everybody thinks they're a photographer nowadays.
Yes, they do. I'm on Instagram. No, yeah, it's great. Yes.
I mean, I think the thing that I like about photography is the intention behind it. And I think a lot of people, you have phones and you can just pull it out and take a picture.
Yeah.
But I think, for me at least, what's really important is about what you're trying to say when you're snapping. So, it's about kind of focusing on a subject versus everything else that's around you.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, yes.
And I think people who think that they're photographers usually think that they are because they can take a pretty image now with phones or editing, but I don't know. I sound.
No, I just want your opinion because you're not snobbing like that.
I'm a little bit of a photo snob. Yeah.
Okay, she is. But no, because people now, because we're in this age where of everything is self-production, obviously a lot of things are like that, and some of them are really good, but there are people who are really just taking pictures, and they're not really, I like the way you say, focusing on an actual subject or seeing something that rest of us may not see with our eye, but they capture it in a picture.
Right. And for me, it's also the relationship with the person behind the camera and the subject. I try not to just shoot things because, look, there's very beautiful photography that's like flowers and landscapes, but even then, I think it's really intentional. I think those kind of photographers that are big names have some intention behind it. I think it's important to kind of step back a little bit and not just snap for the sake of snapping. But that's also kind of goes with me why I like to shoot film. So this is why I'm saying I'm a little bit of a snob, because I think, with digital cameras and phones, it's just so easy. You can take 100 pictures and not really give it any thought. But with film, you really have to, you have 36 exposures, sometimes less, and you really have to kind of step back and look at everything. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna give a tiny little shout out to my engineer right now, Marissa. I took some pictures when she was in Michigan that she showed me that were really good.
Yeah.
That was she actually captured the moments.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it's like a lot of us. I don't think I'm a photographer. I take pictures. I'm not a photographer, but I know when I see good pictures.
Right.
I look and I say, oh, they're actually capturing a mood.
Yeah.
And I admire that so much.
Yeah, I think that's really important.
I've had 2 photo shoots in the last couple of years. With 2 very different photographers, Kimborough and Doug Freyritz, that to me it was about me. So they brought things out of me that I had no idea were in there. I was shocked.
Yeah, I think that's also a good photographer, is being able to engage with your subject, but not being present in that way, not being so it's not being so evident that you're there or that you're holding a camera. I think the best photographers are friends. You know, they become just kind of friendly and personable, where you don't even notice that they're covering their face half the time with the camera.
That's funny. You're so right. And that's the things that we did one photo shoot at the Disney Concert Hall. That's LA. Great, they have great landscaping, great just like lines and shapes.
Yeah.
But he was just so nice. Doug was just so nice. He was just like talking to me. And as he was talking to me, he was snapping pictures.
Right.
And I kept thinking, we're going to go on a pose. I mean, some were posed, obviously, but most of them were just like me.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know, I think that's the intent of any good photographer, is to get their subject being them, not to look posed, to look natural, to actually capture the essence of the person or whatever it is that they're photographing. What
does the photographer have to do, in your opinion, before he takes pictures, to get to that place where they can actually see that, do you think?
I think it's a lot about how people see the world in general. I think that's also photographers. I think, going back to intentionality, I think photographers really have a point of view.
Yes.
You know, I think you have to have a vision, or you have to see the world in a really particular way in order to get to the point where you're going to be able to capture it. I don't think that you can just pick up a camera and say, I'm going to be a photographer, if you're not thinking about the world around you, and if you're not thinking about yourself in relation to the world around you.
Oh, yeah. You have to put yourself in that place.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because I'm thinking about all this kind of stuff now. I'm just like, okay, it's interesting. Like, if you go to, like, just for example, I'm in Koreatown. There's a place that I like in the middle of Koreatown. It's like it's near the Vermont and Wilshire station. They have these little places you can sit down, and they have these giant like fake umbrella thingies. And I just remember sitting there one day, sitting there and looking at the sky above me, looking over there, and just like I felt like I was in the center of something. If I was a photographer, I could probably got some good shots. Probably.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's, you have to really be conscious about what you're seeing around you. And I think, I mean, yes, you can be born with an artistic eye, but I think it's something that can be developed.
Okay.
Where, you know, you spend some time looking at photos, or you spend time looking at art, and you kind of see certain patterns in the way things kind of work visually. And then I think it's something that you can kind of develop, but it's something that you have to work at.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, even if it comes innately, I think it's something that you have to continue.
Not take for granted, obviously, and like work with it.
Yeah, you have to keep looking.
You said something my philosophy when I do all these television shows is I try to make the camera disappear. When I'm with my guests, when I'm with people, the camera it's there. It's my friend. We're here together, but I don't feel like it's I don't want to be a barrier between me and my who are watching. And so you said that with cameras too. You're right. When I had my photo shoots, they were there with a camera between us, so to speak.
Yeah, because anybody, I mean, you put, you know, a machine in front of your face, people are going to lose that connection.
Yes.
And so the key is to be able to capture people, but them not notice that you're, you know, distracted. Because you never want to look distracted. You never want to look like you're not paying attention.
Right.
You never want to look like you're not, you know, connecting on some level with your subject. It just makes people self-conscious, I think.
Yeah, because you know, I've seen people, not my own photo shoot, but some others, where the person is like answering phone calls and looking at their phone for texting, and they're taking pictures at the same time. It's like, you're like, well, are you with me or are you not with me? Like, what's going on?
And you're never going to make somebody feel comfortable in any situation if they don't think that you're with them.
Right. So let's show some of your commuter series.
Sure.
So you look up there, and we're going to just kind of talk about a little bit about each one of these. I love this one, first of all. I saw it. It made me feel just several different things. Can you tell me a little bit about this one?
So this was walking around downtown, where I was walking around with two of my film cameras, wanting to just kind of capture people and talk to people that frequent downtown. Yeah. Whether they're homeless or you know, just kind of. This woman was laying out a whole kind of installation. It looked like she was very clearly not all there.
Okay. But
I tried to be respectful, and I tried to kind of talk to her and ask what she was doing, because what you see at the bottom is a veil.
Yeah.
So she had attached a long veil to a light post.
Wow.
And was kneeling, gathering things around her, putting on her tiara, getting herself ready. For what? I'm not really sure.
The tiara spoke to me for some reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, the action of her putting it on, you can tell she's on the street.
Yeah.
The way that she's dressed, I mean, it just evokes, for me, when I saw her, I just, my first instinct was, what are you doing? Like, what is it that's so meaningful to you that you're just going to kind of set up here and kind of go through. It seemed very much like a performance piece. But clearly she just was.
Well, you know what speaks to me? What it feels to me? I look at this piece and I get a little sad. It makes me feel like she's trying to hold it together and she can't. The tiara, like the tiara stuck out to me of the whole thing. And I don't know why for me it stuck to me, but it felt like she's trying to relive some of maybe her former glory. She was somebody sometime. And a lot of people in downtown, they really are homeless. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Blue Jasmine.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Oh my God. Cate Blanchett deserved the Oscar for that. She got it and deserved it. It's a descent. It shows a woman who was a regular person at one time descend to madness. And at the end of the movie, she's basically sitting on a bench talking to herself. And you always wonder how that happens. You walk, like you said, you walk by them. And this actually reminded me of that, kind of like, wow, who was she and how did she get there? But the tiara really just like, it's like she was regal, or she was somebody who was like somebody. And it really got to me.
I mean, she really stood out. And the thing that got to me too is that so many people were on the street just walking past. Not even acknowledging that this whole piece was happening around them.
Well, you know, somebody we both know, Joshua Silverstein, has been on the show many times. Who connects us?
Who is that?
Joshua Silverstein.
Oh, okay, right. I think I heard of him,
Some guy, some dude. He was my Uber driver years ago. That's how we met. No, he said something that actually stuck with me this whole time about homeless people and people who are on the street. He said that his vision has changed about seeing them a certain way, the fact that they just want to be seen. Because everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to know that they matter. And the fact that you see a homeless person walk across the street in the middle of traffic and you're cussing it, because you're in LA, you're trying to get to where you got to go. And they're doing it slowly. It's almost like it's just a conscious thing. I want you to see who I am.
And I mean, that's something that I kind of found out on this day. So not this particular picture, but while I was taking this picture, there were
This is another good one too.
There were, I was kind of positioning myself, not really in that moment aware of anybody around me. And there was a group of men just standing there smoking who were noticing me. And then they struck up a conversation with me. One of them looked like he might have been homeless. The other one looked like he could also be transient.
Oh, yeah. There's a difference, folks. There's a difference.
But they just wanted to have a conversation with me.
How funny.
So after this, and I turned my camera around on them. I think it's one of the pictures that I sent to you. I just had a conversation with them for a good 20 minutes. And the next time that I went out to shoot, I ran into the same guy.
Oh, my God.
So it was kind of like, hey, nice to see you. And that was my goal in walking out there, and that, they're people who we just ignore every day. And all they want is to be heard. Or to be acknowledged, because most of the time they're not. I mean, it's a fine line when you're photographing them because you don't want to be exploitative. But building relationships, or kind of having the ability to have a relationship where the next time I walk over by Pershing Square, I might run into him again. And now I feel like
I made a friend. And my thing is, there's a couple of homeless guys that are in my neighborhood. I live in Inglewood. Maybe you guys know I live in Inglewood, and they come out with the cans and stuff. And I give them my cans, I give them my stuff, and I actually talk to them a little bit. I say, hi, I'm in my garden, and I talk to them. And for me, it's like my brother and I both are like, we don't see him for a while, like, I wonder what happened. Like, we really are like, thinking like, wow, I wonder what happened to Jeffrey. Like, where is he? And then all of a sudden I'll pop up again, like, okay, you're it's almost like everything, okay, you're still, not that you're still homeless, but like, you're still alive, you're still out there, you're still hustling with those cans. I mean, there were some times when last year, there were some times when it was so hot out here, and they were out there every day, just like trudging along. You're right, and no one talks to them, and no one says anything.
Nobody says anything.
It's like, how'd they get there? But I like this picture. Let's show the next one.
This is the guy that was watching me
take
the picture. And then, I talked to him. He's the guy that I ran into later.
Oh, that's so funny. Let's show the next one. I like that one. That's Pershing Square, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right across the street from Pershing Square.
I recognize that over there. And it's funny how some of the metros are trying to make it like kind of architecturally kind of interesting, I guess. I don't know. And see, this to me, this is LA.
That is
where's that? Is that just too?
It's the Harbor Transit.
Yes. And if you could take actually the metro there and get off at that stop, you can see all those the interchanges and stuff. That to me is LA. It's freeway upon freeway upon freeway and
a palm tree.
The palm tree. I love my palm trees. When I lived here for 22 years, I miss my palm trees. It's like I come home like there's a palm tree. And like that one, another one. I like that one too. To me, it's LA.
Yeah.
And I love the color shading in that one. How'd you get that? How'd you get that
Union
one?
Station.
How'd you get that? It's beautiful.
That one is
The
actually
light.
funny. I commuted for
Oh,
many years from Orange County to LA.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow.
So sometimes I would take the train, sometimes I would drive.
Yeah.
But the one at Union Station, the one with the shadows.
Can you wait to the one with the shadow? There you go. There's that one.
I was running to catch my train.
Oh, how funny.
And I had my Polaroid camera on me, and the light just looked really good. So I kind of just stopped where I was, quickly took the shot, and then ran to catch my train.
I love it.
And then, it takes a little while to...
I love her hat. That's what stood out to me the most was her hat. And I have, my father's side of the family is from Louisiana, and them old gals in my family, they love their hats.
Yeah.
When they go outside in the garden or they go to church or whatever, the big hat just totally, I was like, you go home, girl. I don't know what your story is, but I love the hat.
Yeah.
So
that's what stood out to me, too. I was crossing the street, and she was in front of me at the crosswalk, and just the hat. And
yeah.
Was what stood out.
Totally stood out. Do you have any more pictures? Can't remember how many I put up there. That's it? Okay. That was good, man. I like the hat. So it's like very cool. Great. You have a great eye. When did you realize you had the eye?
I don't think I mean, it took me a while. I've been shooting since I was around 16.
Okay.
But I still don't feel necessarily that I have the eye.
Okay.
I just like to shoot.
Okay. That's legitimate.
I feel like I still have a lot to do and to grow.
Which I guess you will as you grow.
Yeah.
And you just will. Yeah.
But also I'm very self-deprecating, so.
No, that's fine. You can be self-deprecating. It's okay. That's fine. Hey, exactly. It's fine. It's fine. What was the picture, if there is one, or a series of pics, because you said you're in process and progress, but is there a series or a picture you took and you're like, I'm on the right track?
There were, so I took a break from shooting for a little while. Okay. But when I got back into it, when I picked up my Polaroids, I think it was maybe the one from Union Station.
Oh, okay.
Where I was like, oh, okay, I still can do this. I still I'm still able to see things that speak to me and be able to capture moments.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it was around when
That's a great picture. It's a great picture.
Thank you.
Okay, so where are you from? For folks who don't know who you are, where are you from?
Originally,
Tell me.
I was born in Nayarit, Mexico.
Okay, very good.
And then my parents immigrated to the U.S. when I was 6.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So, were traditions important growing up for you?
Or
were you very Americanized?
Not really. So I always say that I have the whitest Mexican parents ever. So I grew up with the Beatles and Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
I guess so. There you go. Right. There you go.
When my parents moved to South Orange County.
Oh, well, the South Orange County, Orange County, the Orange Curtain.
Yeah,
yes.
I fit. I think I already fit right in. And they're not particularly traditional. I mean, they're traditional and their mindset is very old school Mexican.
Okay.
But I didn't grow up with Mexican music.
No telenovelas on TV or anything like that.
My grandpa watched them.
Okay, see, there you go.
So when he came to visit, I got that. But my parents, no, not so much.
How does that inform you in your working with people of color? Because, you're a person of color.
It's caused some interesting moments in my life because I think people like to think that I'm not legitimately understanding the struggle. I came here when I was 6. My parents crossed on a plane.
Right, yeah.
They told me that I was going to Disneyland.
Oh, how funny.
So, I didn't know that I was moving to a complete different country.
Wow. What a trip.
Yeah, I grew up in South Orange County. Yeah. My parents worked hard enough to where I never knew that we were poor. Okay. So when I got to college and, you get that kind of like awakening and you find certain groups, I did get a lot of pushback of you don't understand or you're not Mexican enough or...
That happens too, yes, we know that.
Yeah, or, your parents, you never felt poverty or your parents weren't day laborers. But my parents both worked 2 jobs between them my entire youth.
Right. They worked hard.
They worked really hard.
Yeah.
I did not understand my relation as a Mexican to like other white people in Orange County.
Okay.
For a long time.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't even know I was undocumented until I was 15.
Wow.
So they did I don't know if you can say they did a good job, but it wasn't something that was acknowledged. I never felt different.
Got it.
Until I did.
Yeah.
Until I started to kind of look at the world around me and be like, oh, yeah, I'm brown.
Was it a rough transition? Or did you was it fine for you? You kind of went into it.
I mean, I think it's still something that I go through a lot. I think I still have to fight the kind of stigma of privilege. You know, so I think it's something that I'm still going through. Realizing that I'm brown and things are different, I don't think was that difficult.
Okay.
You know, I didn't have any one particular moment. It was just kind of like a series of little things that kind of told me that I was different.
Yeah. I just like the bottom line is you're still a woman of color. Whether there's no one way to be Mexican or Mexican American. There's no one way to be black and black American. I mean, like there's many different sides, but you're not white.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
None of us are white. I may have white. My father's. I mean, we may have white in us, but we're not white.
Yeah. I mean, and I always get defensive, and I feel like I have to tell people English wasn't even my first language.
Right.
I didn't learn English until I was 6.
See.
So
it doesn't even matter. It's like the basics are the base level is you're a person of color and you should be acknowledged like everybody else.
Yeah. Exactly.
And let's fight the struggle together.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so tell me your experience and show it to me, and I'll try to, give you mine and see if we can actually find something together.
Yeah. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't deny that I definitely had privileges that others didn't.
Yeah.
But, I've experienced so much that they also have.
Well, you should never apologize for what you were given. I mean, I feel like that's just something we need to stop that kind of shaming of how you brought up. So you brought up well. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You can still feel certain things as an adult.
Yeah.
And want to fight for the struggle.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, my parents are educated. I mean, they went to college, and it's like I don't feel bad about that.
Yeah.
Because wasn't in a gang.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in Inglewood. I didn't join a gang. My brothers and I, none of us joined a gang. I mean, like, we had choices.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we didn't live in a place that was still the place.
Right.
So I like that. So you never apologize for how you grew up. That's fine. But it leads me into your Black Dove Film Club, because we were talking about a little bit. Tell me about your relationship with film. Tell me a little about your kind of your relationship with film, and then we'll talk about the club and stuff.
So I started shooting when I was in high school.
Okay.
Back then, that was all that was available. So even when digital cameras came around, and I think I got my first digital camera when I was like 18.
Yeah.
It was a little Canon.
I had one of those. Yes.
That was like 3.5 megapixels,
isn't that
and it
funny?
was like because they cost like $500. I mean,
mine was like that at Target. I got it at Target.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it always seemed too easy for me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think the speaking of the struggle, I think like the struggle inside me is drawn to more struggle.
How funny. Okay. Yes.
Like,
okay.
I don't like things easy.
Yeah.
So I could never really get behind the ease of digital.
Okay.
It seemed to me to take me away from going back to that intentionality.
Yeah.
It took me. It made me step back, but not in the way of like, okay, I'm going to take my time to do it. It made me step away from the focus.
Yeah, it's doing all the work for you, kind of.
Yeah, it does all the work. Instead of focusing on this one thing, I was allowing myself to pay attention to everything, and
yes.
so my images wouldn't be what I wanted.
Yeah. Makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I kept at it, and then I went to college and studied anthropology.
Okay.
Always wanted to kind of mix the things, but that's when I sort of took a break.
Yeah.
And then after I had children, I started wanting to go back. And it did start as, I'm going to pick up my camera to shoot my kid.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Natural. Okay.
But I picked up my film camera.
Oh, interesting.
And realized that I liked the time that I spent. It wasn't just snapshots of him.
Yeah.
It was me kind of sharing in a moment with him.
Oh, yes.
So it was, then that sort of became, and it's an ongoing thing for me, I think. It sort of became a way to relate to my kids.
Ooh.
To kind of have this back and forth relationship with them.
Yeah. As parents, we're always trying to do that as parents.
Yeah, yeah. And I try, sure, I have my moments where I'm like, stop, don't move, let me take a picture. But I think a lot of it is me kind of trying to understand them and in a way understanding myself by how I view them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what brought me back to it. But I felt that film was the best way.
Okay.
To capture that.
Okay.
Because I felt, and I have a digital camera, but I felt every time I picked up the digital camera, it was just snap, I'm done.
Right.
With the film camera, I kind of had to pay attention to the lighting. I had to
slow down,
be observant of their movement, focus literally on what I wanted to be prominent in the picture.
Yeah.
Which allowed me to kind of look at that moment and take in the multiplicity of that particular second that I was trying to capture.
And also, just a larger, just more maybe esoteric way, you were being fully present with your kid. With sometimes our parents were busy, we're doing 8,000 things. We're not always present with our kids. We try as much as we can sometimes, but you actually had to be really present because you're trying to capture this moment.
Yeah. And I wanted them to feel like, I'm here with you.
Yeah.
You know, I have my camera, but I'm here with you.
Yeah.
And I've realized now as I've kind of progressed and I've shot my son now for 9 years, that it is a lot about me and understanding motherhood too.
Yes.
You know, it has become this like self-reflective project of watching his identity develop.
Yeah.
But also watching the way that I've affected his identity develop throughout these years. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Great. A lot of layers there.
Yeah.
Because it's him developing, you're watching him develop, you're part of the development process of him developing. I mean, like, it's just like...
Yeah, while I'm also kind of...
processing that too, and then also you're over here, but you're in there at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I think that's what's really important. I mean, I think what I want to focus on all my work now is making work that says something.
Yes.
You know, that gives something that I want to see out in the world.
Yes.
That doesn't exist. Or, you know, my experience as a brown woman with young children is very singular and particular, but also universal at the same time.
It is. Yeah.
You know.
It is. And that's what, so the Black Dove Film Club, how'd you start that?
So I volunteer as a mentor for Las Fotos Project, which is a it's a foundation in Boyle Heights, Lincoln Heights area that teaches young women of color, high school students, how to document their own experience.
Wow.
So I volunteered last semester, and we did this project with the girls where they documented people with mental health issues.
Oh, wow.
So the goal was to tell somebody's story with the purpose of making a difference, of bringing it to light. There I met another mentor who also shoots film, and we were kind of talking about how there isn't a space for us. So in the world of photography in general, it's very male dominated.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Very white male dominated. I was part of a gallery show, I think during that time. Yeah, it was during that semester, where I was one of 2 women of color, and one of maybe 3 or 4 women.
Wow.
And it was a great opportunity. That group is great, but it kind of made me realize if I wanted to make a voice for myself or for people like me, I was going to have to do it on my own.
Hey, create what you don't see.
Yeah, so we decided to start this up so that we could be supportive of one another and make a platform for ourselves. You know, with the goal of having shows that focus on women of color who shoot film, because there's so few of us. But you know what? Surprisingly, once we started it, we realized that there were more of us than
probably. Of course. We don't think the only ones.
Of course, we're like we're the only 2
ever. Nobody else does it. Yeah. That's great. I love that, because one of the things I did admire when I was doing research on it was that you created something you didn't see, and that's something I encourage everybody out there. You don't see it, make it happen. See it, be it, so to speak. Just then be it. You know, you're not sitting around whining about, well, we don't have anyone of color, there's no groups or anything. You're like, let's put together and see what happens.
Let's put together. Yeah. So, and then we're going to be showing as a group. At Viva la Mujer, which is an event next Saturday. It's going to be open for the whole week.
Very good.
But that is also an event that started for the same purpose, kind of. These, you know, LA is saturated with arts events.
Yes. Yeah.
But there aren't very many that focus on people of color.
No.
So, or women. This
right.
particular event was made to highlight women of color artists. It's spoken word artists, painters, photographers, musicians. I mean, it's kind of covering the whole.
Yeah. It's exciting. I think I admire folks who can actually can do that. I think it's great. What do you feel is one of can you talk a little about your upbringing and where you are today in your life? How's that affecting your work? Where you are right now?
Where I am right now, it's actually affecting my work a lot. So, a project that I've just kind of started working on also kind of that echoes the project with my kids and what's
Okay.
going on is so I'm divorced, but I'm in a relationship
Yes, she is.
with an Uber driver.
An Uber driver who drove me around
Who drove
3 years
you
ago.
around.
3 years ago, yes.
With a very, very talented, very, very talented man.
Oh, very talented.
Very, very
You guys
talented
know him.
man.
He's been on the show many times.
But what I started realizing that I was capturing was him becoming a father to my 2 kids.
Yes.
So one of the things that I think is really affecting me is watching that relationship grow, and kind of the same thing, reflecting on how
Yes.
it's making me grow in certain ways.
Yeah. You're in it, and you're on this side, and you're on this side.
Yeah,
You're like,
being and picking up the camera and being
Yeah.
a little bit removed from it kind of makes me see,
yeah,
how everything is coming together.
yeah.
It really gives me good perspective.
Being a photographer, in other parts of your life, are you a good big picture person? Can you see the big picture of things a lot of times, or no?
No,
Just photography. That's kind of what you got. It's
Yeah.
interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Why do you think that? What's going on there?
because in every other aspect of my life I rush. And I'm impatient.
Oh, how funny.
The only time that I can actually breathe and see things is when I have a camera in my hand.
Okay, I like that. You said breathe. I like that. To see things. I like that.
Yeah.
It's funny how we have professions where some way or things we do that we're really good at that, but it doesn't translate outside of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Maybe one day it will. Maybe one day it'll as you move
It'll
along.
come together.
It'll all come together, girl. So I asked my guests the same 2 questions. I never tell them in advance what the questions are unless they watch the show and know what the questions are, and I don't think she did. So these are my 2 questions for you,
Okay.
Miss Cynthia. Number 1, so I'm a big thing on language. I think language is very important. It can stop us in our tracks and move us forward.
I agree.
All kinds of stuff. So number 1, what is one word you think we should never say or not say anymore? In your opinion?
In my opinion.
Yep.
Well, because this has become like our family motto. No.
Okay. I like that. No more no's.
No more no's.
I like that.
No more no's.
What now? Conversely, what word do you think we should actually say more of or add to our vocabularies?
Thank you. That's 2 words.
But you know what's so funny about that is that I'm a please and thank you person. I grew up with manners, I guess. I was kind of, but even beyond the manners thing, I feel like like I said, we're so busy, we're so rushed. Like, can you do this? Can you do this? People don't say thank you enough.
No, we don't take the time to acknowledge the things that people do for us.
Right.
I don't think that we take moments with people to just say thanks.
Right. Like, thank you. Mm-hmm. Actually,
And not just for like, thanks for this water, but like, hey,
right.
thanks.
I did an anniversary show with said person you're seeing, who's one of 5 people on there. I started crying like a baby because I was thanking them. I know. It's more fun not saying it.
It's he who cannot be named.
Exactly. He could not be named. It's our thing we're doing right now. I purposely have not said your name. I did it on purpose. Like, purposely I say your name, but we know who he is. But no, I started crying when I was thanking them. The 5 people, these 5 diverse, busy people who I admire so much on my show. I started to cry.
Yeah.
Saying thank you to them.
Yeah. It
'Cause,
feels
like,
good.
It does feel good because we don't say like thank you. Just like thank you for being who you are. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Or thanks, Mom, for making that pie for me yesterday. Like whatever,
Yeah.
large or small it is. So I think thank you can be
Thank you can be shallow and it can be really deep.
yes. Oh yeah, it sure can.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a little shady to some people sometimes. I've said thanks or stay blessed to a few people and didn't mean it. But that's another story. But when you get a good thank you,
Yeah.
you know it, and you're like,
feel
okay,
it.
you feel it. And, I mean, our time is up. Basically, you are the best.
Oh, well, thank you.
You have to come back. If any other projects that come on, you have to come back on the show and we'll
Yeah,
talk more about
definitely.
them.
Well, with the club, we're kind of going through transition,
Yeah.
so we're going to debut a new name.
Okay.
At Viva la Mujer, but it's going to be great.
Okay,
The women
good.
that are involved in it are amazing.
Yeah. That
You
sounds
know, we
amazing.
all the point is we're all similar, but we all have such varied stories
I love it.
and see the world so differently. So yeah.
It's good to It's good to collaborate with people who are similar yet different.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all, right? And that camera over there, tell folks where they can actually find more about you and all the kind of stuff.
Well, on Instagram, I think that's my main thing. It's Cinthya M. Guillen. And my website,
Yes.
CinthyaGuillen.com.
Go there, some pictures, there's nice pictures there. See what's going on with her.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, James.
I like to say thank you. I love it. You guys, you can follow Breaking Into on Facebook. It's a page. Like it. You'll see my face on there. Like it. We're also on iTunes and we're on YouTube under Black Hollywood Live. And go ahead and subscribe to those pages, of course. And you can actually find this show, Breaking Into, with Cinthya will be on there. Also be on my page, too. And I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram me @KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.